Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream. I hope everybody is doing well, hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome, thank you so much for being here and popping on in. Hey, Spiritual Booty with the resub. Thank you so much. How are you? Thank you.
I've known you a whole 10 months.
It's almost a year that we've known each other. Almost a year. Almost a year. Everything else was a nightmare and a dream mixed in one. Thank you so much. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I really appreciate that. Yes, I am only 10 minutes late. Well, I was actually live 5 minutes late, but I had to go pee-pee, so I went pee-pee to make sure that I had that taken care of. I didn't want to be midway through stream and all of a sudden it's like, I gotta go pee-pee, I can't hold it anymore. Yes, I share all the most innermost thoughts that I have. Working your booty off because it's busy, or working your booty off because you fell behind and it's busy because you fell behind? Because that's usually the case for me. But hopefully you're going to have yourself a good weekend and it'll be well worth it. We have had immaculate weather all weekend. Not that I go outside ever, but we had immaculate weather all week. Even today, it is gorgeous outside. The only time I ever go outside during sunlight, though, is like to go pick up Nora, and that's it. So I don't get to actually enjoy the gorgeous weather, but it's nice knowing that it's there anyway. It's a bit of a pain because you can kind of see it behind my big head right there. You can see all the sunlight coming in. It's so bright outside that the sunlight is like legitimately brightening this room too much for my lights to work properly. So this is a bag from like our answer to Micro Center. It's Canada Computers, it's called. It's pretty much Micro Center. It's the big bag they gave me for that, and so I put it there to kind of block out some of the sun. But it's beautiful outside. Merle, nice to see you. Weewin, hello. Oh no! That's why you weren't here, Weewin. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in you. By the way, I've eaten everything. I've eaten everything. It was so yummy. The coffee cookies were my favorite. I was really surprised about that. The coffee cookies were amazing. I love the ginger stuff, and it was just like the lightest flavor of ginger. It's amazing. S, hello, nice to see you. Yours truly. Hello, welcome back. How are you? Thank you. I was wearing a different shirt, but it's because it's so nice outside. It's actually quite warm in here, and because it's so warm, it just wasn't a good shirt to wear while I was streaming because it gets really hot in here as the stream goes on. So I was like, you know what, I need something a little bit cooler. And so I was gonna wear just like a regular t-shirt, and then I was like, you know what, I haven't worn this on stream before. I've only worn it on a few videos, but it's been all winter. Like I bought it at the very end of the summer last year, and so I got it, and yeah, I can wear it on stream. I love it. I like this shirt. Moa, hello. How are you? How's life? Yeah, I had to work really hard not to, Weewin. I had to work really hard not to eat them all in one sitting. Like, I would eat a few every night just to, like, not eat them all. Oh, my screen's doing that thing it did before where it's, like, disconnecting the top screen. I don't want it to do it mid-play because then I won't be able to see the chat. Come on. Sorry, you gotta stare at my armpits right now. Come on, monitor, turn on. I'm pretty sure it's the cable that's no good, but I don't know for sure. I can't really tell. Okay, please be okay. So I've got like an old monitor as my secondary monitor, and it's problematic to begin with, but I'm pretty sure it's the cable that's the biggest problem, where it, for some reason, either doesn't give enough electricity for the signal, or like the signal just isn't the right kind, so it like shuts off the screen. I've tried it with the other monitor and the cable works perfectly fine. So I don't think it's the cable itself. I think that the cable is somewhat faulty, and then the monitor just can't handle any kind of variance. So it like messes with my screen big time. You get a room tour? It's hard to show it on TikTok. My TikTok screen is pretty small. Hold on. Come on. If I can, I'll shrink the screen. It'll make it even smaller, so it's harder to see. But you'll be able to kind of see what it looks like if I shrink the screen a little bit. Or what if I transform and turn it? You're gonna have to turn your phone. Oh, I don't know if it'll work. Maybe if you turn your phone, it might stay. I hope it stays. But if I do this, and then this, you can pretty much see the whole room now. So that's pretty much the whole room, because like right where that lamp is, there's just another shelf, and then it's a wall. But that's pretty much what the room looks like if you turn the phone sideways. I still can't get the screen to turn on. Dang it. Do I have another I have an HDMI somewhere. I just don't know where. Okay, did that turn it on? I think that might have turned it on. Using broken old technology is sometimes a pain. It saves you money, but it's a pain. I can't afford a second screen right now, so I am dealing with a broken screen as much as I can. It doesn't seem like it wants to work, though. Oh, we win. You just have a plain blue ass room. So my room is actually like, the color is really ugly. It's like a chocolate brown, but not like an attractive chocolate brown. It looks like an old dusty chocolate brown. And like, you know, baking chocolate, how it gets like almost dusty. It's like that kind of color. It's really gross. And the last people that lived here put in a whole bunch of, let me put the screen back the way it was. How do I undo? Can I undo? I don't think I can undo it. Wait, maybe I can. Maybe over. Wait. Hold on. No, it doesn't let me undo this way. Okay, I'll just manually do it, I guess. So nope, that didn't do it. Hold on. Transform. Oh, I did change something though. I don't know what I changed. I moved. Why isn't it moving? Hello, transform, reset transform. There we go. Okay, well, that works. That's good enough. So the people that used to live here put in a whole bunch of nails in the walls, and then they tried to fix it, but they just like covered it over and didn't actually paint it the right color. So there's a bunch of like random splotches of a different shade of brown all over the walls. And then there was a bunch of holes that they left behind. We also have like this really tacky wallpaper at the top edge. It's not a very nice room. I've just made it look nice because I put a bunch of lights in, and then like I put not fully blackout curtains, but I put really dark curtains to kind of cover the windows, because that whole wall back there, it's all window, which is really, really nice, but it really sucks for streaming, because obviously it screws up the lighting for the stream. Not all holes are good holes, my friend. Exactly, we win. You know. Not yet, yours truly. Not yet. Okay, turned on. Please stay on for the rest of the stream. If it turns off, I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to stop the stream and then find another cable. It's on. Let's hope it stays on. I hope. We should start a GoFundMe to buy me a new screen. I want it to be HDR with 1000 nits. I want it to be 4K. I want it to be 8K, 1000 nits HDR, 10-bit color at 240 hertz. That's what I'm... GoFundMe. If I was doing a birthday stream, I might have been able to make enough money to actually afford a screen, but that's okay. I am gonna deal with the broken screen for the time being. I'm gonna buy another cable and see if that fixes it. That'll be a lot cheaper. It'll be like $15 versus like $1,500. Not that I'd buy a $1,500 monitor. I'd probably buy something closer to like a $300 monitor, maybe the same one that I have underneath. It's a 144 hertz Acer monitor. It's actually a pretty decent monitor, because it's an IPS panel. So it does really nice color accuracy, and it's got HDR, but it's only 400 nits, so it's like the bare minimum of HDR. But it's 1440p, which is more than enough for what I really do. I stream at 1080p anyway, 720p actually. I stream at 720p, so, you know, 4K monitor doesn't do me any good. So I'd probably end up getting another one of these, which it was on sale when I bought it, but it's probably a lot cheaper now. So that's what I would probably end up doing as a secondary monitor, if and when I end up replacing this one. Yeah, for work, it makes sense to have two smaller ones for sure. For streaming, I actually considered it for a really long time. Like I was at the point where I was gonna get a because I was looking for another monitor because this one was so faulty. And I had so when I started streaming, I had like a really cheap 1080p monitor. It was 24 inches. It was a TN panel, so the colors were horrendous on it. It was not a good monitor at all. This was before I really got into PC gaming. Like I did PC gaming, but I didn't look into everything, so I just knew I had a video card and I bought a monitor. And it was when the transfer was, this is how old I am. It was when the transfer was happening from like the CRT monitors to LCD monitors. It was way back then. And so I had kept that for years. And then I started using that for my stream. And the monitor wasn't great, but eventually the monitor started to fail. And so it started to get green lines all across the monitor. And so I replaced it. And that's where I bought the top monitor, which is a 4K monitor. But it's also a TN panel, so the colors aren't great. And this is when 4K started becoming affordable for the first time in monitors. And it's a Samsung monitor, and I loved it because it was 4K. And then from there, I bought a second 4K monitor about a year later, and it's an Acer monitor. It's I can't remember. It's not an IPA. It's not an IPS, and it's not a TN. It's the other VA. It's a VA panel, which is okay for color accuracy, but it also has a better response time than IPS panels do. And that one was also a 4K. That one said HDR, but it was just that it reads HDR. It's not actually HDR. And so I got that monitor, but that one was a 32-inch monitor. And so what ended up happening is at the time I had a really big desk, so it worked. Then I downgraded to this much smaller standing desk, which I don't really use for standing right now. I probably should. Once I rearrange everything, I'll probably set it up so I can stand up during streams. And so I bought this much smaller desk, and then all of a sudden my 27-inch and a 32-inch just became gigantic on this desk. And I was using the 32-inch to gameplay, which it's huge, which I like big screens, but when you're playing it, like, it's so close to my face, I had to like physically turn my head to actually see the whole screen. So then eventually I stopped streaming, and I gave Alana that monitor, and then my monitor was starting to die, so I bought... Is that how it happened? I want to say it was during the break. It might have been while I was still streaming. I bought a smaller screen, because I was like, you know what, I can't do the big one anymore. So I bought the smaller screen, which is this 27-inch 1440p 144 hertz monitor. So now they're both 27-inch, but the top one is still failing. Then I stopped streaming, so I stopped caring about it, and I just stuck with the 1440p, and Alana took the 32-inch. Because she wasn't streaming or anything, she was just playing, so she would like lean back and play, and she has worse vision than I do, so she was using the bigger screen because it's easier for her. So when I came back to streaming, I was using... Oh, it's over there somewhere. I was using a little portable monitor, but it's only 14 inches and it's 1080p. And to have like all my OBS stuff and everything on that little tiny screen was really hard to actually see chat and stuff. So I pulled out the broken one to use so I can have... Because right now on screen, I have my TikTok live studio, my OBS, my TikTok chat, my Restream chat, and then I have my browser all open, all showing at once. That's the benefit to the 4K. But it's faulty, and so it's a pain in the butt to use. I am going to eventually have to upgrade that thing, because I really don't want to use the 32-inch. It's just way too big. So that's probably what's going to end up happening down the line. But it was my first 4K monitor. Anyways, what I was saying is, when I was looking at this 1440p, that's where I was going with it. When I was looking at the 1440p, I was actually looking at an ultra wide. Because I was like, you know what, I can do picture-in-picture and have both on one screen, and then it takes up way less space on my desk. It's going to be a lot neater. It's going to be a decent proposal. But when I looked at the prices, I could get like an HDR 4K monitor for the same price. And then last night I was watching a video actually with Linus Tech Tips talking about how one of the reasons he couldn't justify, or he's a big fan of ultra-wide, and for a while there he kind of said he couldn't justify it, and the reason was something that somebody else said, where like when you compare the pixels per dollar equation, you can get the same monitor in 4K at a regular aspect ratio for the same price, and you'll get more pixels out of it, which means you get more real estate out of it, whereas the ultra wide is a lot shorter, right? So you get less of a viewing experience, I guess. So like that's the main reason. When I looked at the numbers, I was like, I can't justify paying that much money when the screen's going to be that much shorter. And so then I went for the 1440p. Although I still really, really like ultra wide. If I got a curved ultra wide for streaming, I think it'd be cool. It'd be really immersive. So I'm still not off of that idea, but if I did that, I'd probably use my really tiny one just for chat, and then that would make life a little bit easier. But like, yeah, right now I don't have the money, so I'm not even looking at a new monitor. If anything, I'm gonna pull out the 14-inch one and get rid of the broken one. But I'm gonna try a different cable, see if that fixes it. Really want a stand-up desk so I can walk. Yeah, Spiritual Booty. It was really nice. I only stopped using the standing feature because, one, this room isn't really made for streaming. It's a living room, right? And it's kind of awkward to pull off the wall. And then I make the room even smaller for me to be able to use the standing feature because it's right up against the wall, so it rubs on the wall if I try to lift it and drop it. Second, I didn't really do the cable management to allow that, so if I pull right now, it'll pull the whole computer off the desk. I have the computer on the shelf next to the desk. But when I was doing and I'm doing short streams, so it's not really worth it. I do like 2 hours, so I can sit for 2 hours. But when I was doing like the 4-hour streams, it was wonderful. Halfway through the stream, I would just stand up the desk for about half an hour, and then I'd sit it back down for the rest of the stream, and it gave me a chance to kind of stretch my legs. It also re-energized me, which was really, really nice. Standing desks are great. They're really great, and they're great for your health. People don't realize how unhealthy it is to sit all the time. I do it all the time, so I know I'm preaching and I'm not actually doing it. But it's really bad for blood clots, like severely bad for blood clots to sit all day long. It's also just as bad to stand all day. You need a mix. So having a standing desk would be a really good idea. I would definitely look into it. And they're getting much cheaper, so it's pretty cool. Oh, I love bananas. I love bananas. I think bananas are amazing. I just had a banana. I had banana with peanut butter on toast. It was delicious with my coffee. It was great. You barely buy fruit because it rots sooner than you eat them. We buy a lot of fruit because Nora likes fruit. Nora, because of her neurodivergent stuff, she's very particular about what she eats. And she'll go into phases where she'll eat, like, let's say raspberries nonstop or strawberries nonstop, but she likes to have fruit. She doesn't really do veggies. Most kids don't. But she really likes fruit. I don't do much fruit. I do more juice versus fruit. I do a lot of veggie in my food, though. Like, I eat tons of vegetables in my food. But bananas are something that I eat all the time. Bananas I eat a lot. I love bananas. Ooh, I do like kiwis. I do like kiwis. We don't keep them in the house because Alana's allergic to them. But I like kiwis. I like kiwis. Miu has been bad all day. Oh, cantaloupe is great. I love cantaloupe. That's something I do eat all the time. Yeah, Merle, I used to be the kind of person that would lay in bed for hours and hours and hours on end. I can't now. Because I get judged if I do. And not just judged, like it like wrecks my whole day. So I get up so I don't have to deal with it. But yeah, I don't mind. On my day off, I don't mind laying in bed all day. I really don't. Or if I get up and I literally eat breakfast and then I lay on the couch. Like that would be my ideal day off. And then I like to shower and stuff. So I get up and I shower, but then I'll like just throw on something bummy and lay down. The only reason I would get dressed is for the stream. Yeah. My cats judge me as well. I haven't done it in a while, so I can't say that I could still lay in bed all day, but I used to. Like up until before I started living with Alana, I used to. I loved it. I like lazy days because I'm really physical at work, right? So it's nice to be just lazy and not do anything. You did a lot, actually. Yeah, when I was living with my parents, I used to do that. I'd bring my homework into bed and I'd lay there. Even now, when I go to bed, I usually go to bed about an hour before I'm actually gonna go to sleep. And you should see my bed. It needs cable management. That's how bad my bed is. Because like I usually have my tablet charging on one side of me. I've got my phone on the other side. I've got my watch charging. I've got my headphones charging. Like I've got a bunch of cables all around the bed. And I usually have like my laptop on my chest as I'm laying there watching something on my tablet, and I'm like browsing on my laptop, and then my phone on the side because my phone is how I control my light. Because the room that I sleep in doesn't have a light. I have like one of those lights that you like plug into the wall, and I have it hanging from the ceiling, and instead of standing on my bed to turn it off, I have one of those like smart lights, which doesn't work. Don't buy the Mercury Walmart brand. It's garbage. But half the time it'll turn off. So I have my phone there to answer texts and stuff. I got my tablet to watch my videos. I got my laptop to browse on. It's like a full desk in my bed. I sit there for like an hour doing that. I like technology. What can I say? Yeah, lying on the couch or doing nothing. Exactly. Yeah, I do and I don't feel guilty about doing nothing. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't though, because like I'll have like a really hectic week at work, and you know, like I get up and then I'm with Nora all day. So like the few hours that I can get to do nothing, I want to take advantage and do nothing because I know I'm gonna be on my feet all day. But then, you know, on days off I do stuff. Like last night I cleaned the bathroom, like full deep clean of the bathroom. I did a deep clean of the kitchen. You know, and then I did my laundry. And plus I streamed and picked up Nora and stuff. Oh no, I didn't stream. I picked up Nora and stuff. So like I did quite a bit. I won't say no. Nikki, hello. Nice to see you. Yeah, we do, but we don't get it. We don't always get it, but it is what it is. In the summertime, I'll be able to do what I want, when I want, how I want, and be as lazy as I want on my days off. I think one of the hard parts for me is when I was living alone, how can I say it? I am a really neat person, but on the same hand, I'm also a very, very messy person. So I'm like one of those people that like, when I was living by myself, I would clean my apartment once a week, like full deep clean, mop the floors, dust, everything. But then like the dishes, I would leave them all week and do them once a week. So I'd have like a big pile of dishes in the kitchen. But like my living room was always spotless. My bedroom was always spotless. I never slept in my bedroom when I was living on my own. I always slept on the couch. Actually, I would switch around. Like I'd spend a week sleeping in the room, a week sleeping in my bed, a week sleeping in the room, on the couch, a week in my room. Mainly because the bed that I had at the time wasn't really good for my back. So if I slept too much on the bed, my back would start hurting. So I'd sleep on the couch until my back started hurting, and then I'd switch. But I always kept my living room like immaculate. My stream area was always perfectly clean. My bathroom was always clean as well. But you know, as the week progressed, like a few things would pile up. Like in my bedroom, I'd end up with a pile of clothes all over the floor. But I knew that like if I did one deep clean, it lasted all week. Whereas like now there's a little kid. So even if we do a deep clean, within 24 hours, it's a mess. She's pretty good, but it still gets messy. Plus 3 people adding little things, right? Like Alana will leave like 2 cans of pop somewhere. I'll leave like a mug in a bowl somewhere. But once you add it all up, it makes the house look really messy. But then that almost demotivates you because you're like, I just cleaned and it's already a mess and it's not even my mess. So it's like that double-edged sword. So sometimes living on your own is nice because you know the mess is yours. And that's kind of a nice thing. That's kind of a nice thing. 3 cats. I only had 1. And that cat was messy. I can't even picture 3. I can't even picture 3. And the worst with cats is if you don't clean them, like if you don't clean their litter and stuff enough, it stinks. And they can stink up the whole house. That was the problem I had at the place that I lived at, is sometimes I'd go like 3 or 4 days without doing the litter. Like 3 or 4 days past what I would do. I would normally change the litter every like 3-4 days. But sometimes I'd go a whole week without doing it. And then the whole apartment would just stink of kitty litter. It was horrible. Yeah. We have Zelda, and she's a part pug. And pugs, if you know anything about pugs, they shed continuously all year long. So like there's always dog fur everywhere in this house. I've got you can kind of see it on YouTube and Twitch right there, that little white thing. That's our air purifier. We have another one in the living room, in the other living room. The benefit is Zelda almost spends all of her time with Alana, and Alana sleeps during the day, so Zelda's in the bedroom most of the day. And then at nighttime, she sits with Alana on the couch, so she doesn't run around the house too much. So the fur has really gone down, but when we first got her, there was fur everywhere. My car was covered in fur, and I don't let her in the car very often because I'm allergic to her. And like there was fur all over my car. Now I think she's gone into my car now once. So this car doesn't have any fur in it. But yeah. You really need a schedule. Yeah, I only function, it's weird. I function with schedules, but I also hate schedules. The Audi part of the Audi HD, I need the schedule. I can't have things change last second. I freaking hate it, even if it's like pointless. Like my brother had to come in and wax the floors at the one store that I was doing last night, or the night before. And my brother messaged me the 2 nights before, and he's like, hey, I'm coming in to do the waxing on Monday. And it threw me off, even though he wasn't gonna mess with me at all. Like I showed up and he was doing his own thing while I was working. He didn't interfere with me in any way. It was just the getting caught off guard without any real notice. It like threw me way off. And then it just bothers me. At the same time, I hate setting schedules because I never know what's gonna happen. So I hate like knowing, like I'm supposed to meet with a friend of mine, and she's this really like hardworking, dedicated actress that I know, and she runs her own theaters and stuff, and I just want to kind of pick her brain. I just want to ask her questions because I haven't really been in the professional theater world in years, and so like I want to pick her brain about, you know, what's going on in the industry and how things are going and how she's kind of gone through her journey, just to kind of get back into that mindset and speak to somebody creative. and I told her I want to meet in the summertime when things kind of boil over. And she asked like if we maybe set a tentative date, and like the panic it filled me with, because I was like, I don't want to set a date because I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know, like it's a few months down the line, and if I set a date and then I don't know if like 2 weeks before I'm gonna have to cancel, and it like drives me with so much anxiety, yet not knowing when I'm gonna see her also drives me with anxiety. It really sucks. It really sucks sometimes. Because like I beat myself up for it, but once I set a schedule, I want to stick to it no matter what, which is one thing I'm looking forward to when it comes to the big revamp that's going to happen on the channel in the summer. Is I'm going to be setting a schedule, and I'm going to go back to how it was. None of you that are here, except for maybe Nikki, Spiritual Booty was there right at the very tail end of that part of what I'm about to say, but I know Nikki was definitely there for it. When I first started streaming, I treated this like it was a TV show. Not that like I'm a movie star or whatever, but I'm saying like, you know, you knew that The Simpsons were going to be on at like 6 p.m. on this channel every Tuesday, and without miss they were on. I treated my show that way, where I was like, okay, this day I'm playing this game, this day I'm playing this game, at this time I'm going to start streaming, I cannot be late. And like I set my whole life around that schedule, and I was very particular. I knew I'd go to work, I'd be home at 3 in the morning, I would record for 2 hours, and then I'd go to bed. So like I had that like complete set schedule on the way that I did things. I'm looking forward to having that again, where I'll be able to, you know, work. I usually get home around 4:30 in the morning, so I doubt I'm going to record when I'm done work, but I also know that I'll be able to get up, have breakfast, stream, take a break, record, and then go to work. Like I'll have a set schedule. I'm also going to stream for 3 hours, so it's not going to feel like today. Most of my streams, they feel like almost a waste, because I start streaming and like within an hour, I'm pretty much getting ready to stop. And it feels like we're just getting started and I have to stop. It's not that like I'm wasting my time because I'm not getting enough. It's I'm wasting my time because I feel like we're finally getting into the groove of the stream, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I gotta stop. Sorry guys, gotta go. And I'm really looking forward to not having that happen, where I can start and I know I'm gonna be streaming for 3 hours, 4 hours, and we can get into the groove of streaming and we're, you know, full force. I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff. So having that schedule is going to be really nice. But right now I'm in that phase of like, I'm anxious because I don't want to set dates. I don't want to set a schedule because I don't know what's going to happen. I feel things are going to change. And so that part is the ADHD part, is that I don't want to set a schedule because I just want to kind of live on the edge of my seat and just figure it out. But the Audie part of me is like, no, I need to figure it out because I need to set a schedule so I can build my life around it. Yeah, Weewen, I'm excited. I've got plans for stuff that I want to do for the channel, ideas for things I want to implement, goals that I want to set for myself to kind of meet. I'm starting to kind of get myself into the routine now where like I'm recording. I wrote about 8 scripts last night. Most of them are comedy. It's a lot less like fun facts. It's more comedy stuff because I did a bunch of fun fact videos. I still have 2 that I can upload. So it's like I've got all that set up, and my plan is today after I pick up Nora, I'm going to record for a couple of hours to get a bunch of the comedy videos done. Because I'm trying to get into that routine of writing scripts and recording. I fell out of that routine. I'm trying to get back into it because eventually, once I do get back into full-time content creation, I'm hoping to get back to making YouTube videos like once every couple of weeks to do like a full-blown YouTube video. So it's a habit I'm trying to get back into, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating having that like dual personality thing going on, where like part of me wants it like regimented and set, and part of me is just like, nah, just figure it out as it comes. And then it leads to the whole like executive dysfunction thing where I just freeze, because the part of me that wants a schedule knows I don't have one, so I start freezing, and then the part of me that doesn't want a schedule also knows that the part of me that wants a schedule needs one, and so that makes me freeze, and then it just like I end up freezing and not doing anything, which kind of sucks, but we're working on it. Oh my god, yeah, Girl Thulu. It can be a skill at the same time, right? Like when I sit down to start working, I can really sit down to start working. Like last night I had that problem. Was it last night? It was yesterday during the day. I picked up Nora from school. I sat down because I'm working on a video about Resident Evil. it was like an hour of footage. It's a 10-minute video, an hour of footage that I had to sift through to get all the different takes and make sure that I had all the story put together. I did miss one take, but I can't re-record it because it just won't fit in the video. So I'm just going to kind of leave it, and it's going to drive me crazy because the video just kind of ends abruptly. I didn't kind of do a transition from like the story to the end of the video. It just went like story and then here's the end. But anyways, I sat down to record. I sat for like 3 hours. And all I was doing was just finding the footage for like the gameplay clips I'm going to use within the video. And the only reason I stopped is because I had other things that I was supposed to be doing. But like I could have spent all day just sitting here and sifting through the footage to get gameplay footage. And that's a downside when you have a family. It's a big benefit when you're a content creator because I know I can sit and focus and do the job. So I'm looking forward to having that freedom to be able to do stuff like that. That I'm excited for. Yeah, Girl Thulu, the famous one, is here. She's a movie star. She's a movie star. Is that thing public yet? I don't want to say anything. Is it public yet? Girl Thulu? I don't know if you're still there. Yours is from anxiety? Yeah, anxiety can be just as debilitating. Anxiety is more debilitating. It can be a lot more debilitating because like with like the ADHD thing, we learn to kind of mask it and deal with it. We deal with the meltdowns behind closed doors usually. And like if truth be told, I'm in like a severe meltdown right now, like long form meltdown. I think I was in a very big meltdown for a while, and then I kind of took a really long time. It's when I took like the year off streaming and everything, and I was able to kind of get things going again. But now I'm in a meltdown in a different part of my life. The streaming part, I'm totally fine. It's the other stuff in my life that I'm in a complete meltdown. Like I am shut right down right now. So it can be debilitating, but the masking really helps. Anxiety on the other hand, at least as far as I know, obviously I'm not a pro. Anxiety, it doesn't really get masked. It's just you're fighting it the whole time until it finally takes over. And then anxiety just freezes people. Obviously, like ADHD comes with anxiety, but it's not the same as just being a person with anxiety. That can be so debilitating. So debilitating. I used to have a girl in my high school who used to have like severe panic attacks from her anxiety, and it would come out of nowhere. I remember, and you know, I was 16. I didn't know anything. I didn't know any better. I was a jerk. You know, and my masking, even now, my masking is so heavy that it's hard for me to kind of turn it off. And at that time, I was masking full force. Like I was trying to be cool. So I was like, I was a jerk. Like I'm a jerk now, but like I was a jerk. Like, you know, when I do my, well, I don't know how much you watch my TikTok, Spiritual Beauty, but you know how I do clapback videos where like I'll talk to somebody who you can very clearly tell I perceive as dumb. And I'm not very nice to them when I respond. I was like that all the time, like all day long, every day. I was very, very condescending. Because I was really trying to be cool. And I hung out with like those jerk, they weren't jocks, but like they were the cool jerk guys. So I had that like condescension air about me. Anyways, I was a jerk. And there was a girl in my school who had really severe anxiety. And I remember one time she had her locker. I was like, it was in a corner, but I was about like 10 lockers down from the corner, and she was like right in the corner. And I walked by her and she was joking with her friends. They were goofing off. And then I opened my locker, and as I turned, she literally, like, it was just a transformation. She was smiling and laughing, and then all of a sudden she just started screaming and fell to the floor and was like full-blown panic attack. At the time, I thought she was faking it. She was milking it. Like, what the hell's wrong with this girl? She must be nuts. Now I understand how anxiety works. Now I understand that it wasn't that. It was just she was trying so hard to fight it until it finally just came out. But she had a severe anxiety struggle. And it was scary. Now it's scary to imagine being in her shoes and having that little control. Anxiety is scary. Anxiety is scary. Oh, man. I can either work for hours without end or work for an hour and I need to nap. Yeah, I'm the same way, Merle. I'm the same way. I'm exactly the same way. Like yesterday was one of my days where I was go, go, go. Like I said, I did a deep clean of the bathroom. I did the whole kitchen. I put away the dishes. I did the dishes. You know, that like I did a bunch of stuff, and then I sat and wrote 8 scripts out, and then I edited my video for about 3 hours, and I did a lot yesterday. I also did all my hair maintenance, which again, I've said this a few times, but like, let me reiterate, the hair maintenance on this thing, I do it once every like 2 to 3 weeks, and it's a very long process. Like, I went into the bathroom at 10:30, I came out of the bathroom at almost 2 o'clock. That's how long it took me, because, you know, I got to take it off. I got to shave, I got to put the treatments on, I got to take all the tape off of it. And because of the way that I had put it on last time, there was a bunch of hairs that I actually curled underneath and gotten stuck. So I had to like manually pull out each hair so it wouldn't be stuck anymore. And then like, you know, sanitize it and get rid of all the stickiness and wash it. Like, it was a huge process. And then I put it on, and I put it on wrong. And by then it was already stuck. I tried to take it off, and I have a pimple coming in, and the tape landed right on the pimple. So when I went to pull it, the pain was immense. So I had to just leave it. So I've tried to like fix it as much as I can, which I think I did an okay job. But I can feel there's a wrinkle somewhere. I can't remember where it is. It's like here somewhere. There's like a small wrinkle, and I can feel it when I rub my head. Anyway, so I did all of that. So I was like, go, go, go. Today, I'm like on the other end of the spectrum. I'm dreading having to stop the stream and record those videos. But if I don't record them, I don't really have anything to post. I have 2 more videos, and that's it. So I need to record those higher quality videos, and it's like, oh, I got to set up the lights and put out the camera, and it's like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep. So yeah, I'm the same way. One extreme or the other. You never had panic attacks till 2 years ago? Yeah, I think, obviously I don't know your specific circumstance. I know you, I just don't know, you know, a lot's happened in the 10 months that we've known each other. A lot's happened. But I think a part of what happens for a lot of people is our lives go through a lot of major changes, and you've gone through some pretty drastic changes in the time we've known each other. You know, you've had a lot happen in the time we've known each other. And so having all those changes happen in such a way that we can't control it, and in a way that we can't slow it down. We know it's not a change that's temporary, like it's a permanent change, and that can be really hard. I know that's what I'm struggling with, is some things are changing that are going to be permanent. They are never going to come back. Like, even now, I've got the hair system, and even now I'm like, I love how I look with my hair and whatever, but I'm either always going to have to do this forever, or I'm gonna have to go back to being bald. And it's like, that is something I can't take back. And those moments are like, wow, that really sucks. And then you add, as you grow older, you, at least in my instance, you grow further apart from people you used to know. You start to look at things that you did when you were younger, and you miss them. Like, I watched a musical that I was in with Nora a couple weeks back, and like, I watched those videos and I miss that. I miss the people that I knew then. Not that I miss, but like, I feel how they've still stayed together, and I'm like out of it, and I'm not in that group anymore, and how badly I wish I could go and act with them. But it's like, now I'm older, I'm not that young kid that I was anymore. So it's like, all those changes really get to you, and it's a lot of stress to take on. So if you already had like an anxiety issue, then you add all these big things that happen as you get older, it's harder to deal with. And so those things start to kind of take over a lot more. It's scary. As you get older, things can get scarier. And kind of with the masking thing, as you get older, you get more tired of hiding it. It's harder and harder to hide, right? It's kind of the same for me. I used to be really good at just like dealing with socializing, and like, I'd be put into situations where I was really uncomfortable, but I was good at just masking and putting up with it. You know, even Preston mentioned one time in a stream how like I was the ladies' man and everybody liked me, but in my mind, I was always on. Like, I was always analyzing everything I was saying, everything I was doing, who I was talking to, who I wasn't talking to, and most of the time I came off as unlikable. I got judged a lot. And now I look back at it, and yeah, there's some stuff that I did that was just like, I was a ladies' man only because because I was flirtatious with everybody, but I didn't actually understand how to properly flirt. I didn't understand how to actually like interact with women in a meaningful way. I also have a very hard time of distinguishing when someone's flirting with me because they're interested, and when they're flirting just because they're being playful, because I can't read social cues, and so it's really hard for me. So as I get older, I have less energy to do that. And so now, like, even trying to meet with somebody, fills me with anxiety. Like I said, I want to meet this actress friend of mine who I've known for years. We've only ever really hung out a couple of times, and it was always like at a theater show. We even met because a different friend invited me to go see their show, and when I was there, this actress friend of mine was running the theater, and she saw I was by myself, so she sat with me just to be nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Howdy Rowdy. Thank you. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well. I'll just finish this thought and then I'll get into the stream. And so, like, even now, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta make sure that I don't say anything wrong because I don't want her to think that I'm hitting on her. At the same time, I don't want her to think that I'm being, like, standoffish and weird, but, like, I don't want her to like, think that I think that it's a date, but I also don't want her to think that, like, I think it's like a work business thing. But, like, what? Like, I'm some stranger to her because we don't talk very often. And anytime I have messaged her, I feel awkward about it. And so that masking part of me is now, I'm so out of practice, but I'm also just old and tired and I don't have the energy to keep up with it anymore. So as you get older, it feels almost harder to hide that stuff. So going back to anxiety, it's the same situation. As you get older, it's a lot harder to kind of look past it or kind of act like it doesn't bother you. And yeah, you went through a lot of changes in your 20s. You went through a lot of changes in your 20s because we met when you were just in college, right? So, like, you went through all of college. You had your personal changes in your family. You went through your own personal changes about discovering who you are and what you wanted out of life. You got married. It's a lot. It's a lot to go through. So the panic attacks come a lot easier. Now you have a responsible job, and that comes with its own stresses. So I feel you. I feel you. Did I wear pink on? When I was in school, no. When I was in school, no. I was bullied all my school years, me having attacks. Nope, no one was allowed to see me that way. Yeah, I never broke down. I was always very stoic. But a big reason of that is because it was never even safe at home. Like, I was just never safe to be able to do that. And I'm still not safe to be able to do that. Like, my dad asked to get together a few weeks ago because he knows what's going on in my personal life, and he wanted to kind of meet up just to talk to make sure everything was okay. Because they still picture me as the 16-year-old. For those who don't know, when I was 16, I went through a lot of self-harm issues, and I ended up being in the hospital for a couple of months because of it, or a month and a half because of it, under 24-hour surveillance, that kind of thing. And so I was diagnosed with, like, severe depression, and it's been something that's been with me my whole life. Now that I'm older, now that I've gotten away from my family and had a chance to actually explore myself without being dismissed, the ADHD thing came out, the Audi thing came out, and now I'm being treated for that, and all of a sudden the depression symptoms are almost completely gone. Like, it's been huge. A lot of the depression that I'm feeling now is more of just, like, the almost mourning my life, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I was under the wrong impression of who I am and what was wrong with me, that I lived my whole life in a lie. And now that I'm older and I can see who I was and what was going on and what is going on, I look at myself and I feel almost sad for myself that I wasn't able to enjoy my life more. So that's kind of like the sadness that I feel is mourning who I could have been. But outside of that, I feel great. Like, I'm going through a pretty big life change right now, and I'm not feeling devastated. So, like, I feel okay. Anyways, my parents are still worried, and they still think of me as that 16-year-old. So my dad wanted to meet up and talk and whatever. And so I was explaining to him this, about how, like, the doctor has diagnosed me with ADHD, how the doctor has suggested potentially autism and all those options. And my dad dismissed all of it. And not just dismissed it, but, like, that very, like, slap in the face, like, whatever, that's stupid. That kind of dismissive. And, that's how it was growing up my whole life. There was always that everything was dismissed. And so I was never safe even at home. And with my dad, we had to walk on eggshells all the time. Because my dad is ADHD 110%. The more I discover about myself, the more I'm like, maybe autistic, I don't know. But definitely ADHD. But my dad's a huge alcoholic, so it's hard to kind of see him natural. So I can't tell about the autism thing. But the ADHD, 100%. But he is very moody. And he's one of those guys that like he can go to the store at 8 in the morning on his way to work and somebody will be rude to him and he'll come home at 8 p.m. and be a complete monster to all of us. He never hit us or anything, but he was one of those that he would yell at us for everything. He was always in a bad mood. So it was like, he had to walk on eggshells all the time with my dad. So I was never safe. So I never got to break down at home either. So I've gotten to the point now where I almost hold everything in and I don't show anything. Which as an actor kind of sucks because there are moments where I'm doing a really emotional thing and I can feel every feeling inside. But when it comes to actually letting it out, it almost feels like I get to like the edge of the cliff and then I just kind of stop and I can't get myself to take that final step. And so like I mask so heavily that I mask even when I'm on my own. And now I'm learning about masking on my own because I'll have thoughts and I catch myself going, no, don't do that. Don't do that. People are going to think that's weird. Even though I'm by myself. You know what I mean? So it's hard. I never got those chances to really break down and be myself because I had to learn to mask all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But now I'm trying to be a lot more analytical about the way that I look at the things that I do and the things that go on in my life. It's rough. It's rough. Yeah, I can understand that, Weewin. I can definitely understand that. Why did it do that? I don't know, Howdy. I don't know. Sometimes it's delayed. The alerts are delayed. Sometimes TikTok seems to like unfollow and follow people. I don't know. TikTok is weird. You had that conversation with your best friend. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, like both of my parents were, they're both messed up. They're both messed up. My mom grew up with like a severe alcoholic. Like my grandfather, God rest his soul, he was one of those guys that like would get drunk on the weekends because it was his God-given right to get drunk, was the way he looked at it. But he wouldn't just go for a couple of drinks and kind of get his buzz on. Like he was the kind that would be laying on the floor, throwing up on himself, yelling at all hours of the night with the windows wide open. So all the neighbors knew what was going on. Like he was that kind of alcoholic. My mom grew up watching him do that. My grandfather cheated on my grandmother every opportunity he had. You know, so it was like, it was that kind of household that my mom was brought up in. You know, and my grandmother was, I love her to death. She was the one that I took care of with Alzheimer's. I loved her. She was like a mom to me. But she was very gossipy. She was very much a drama queen. She was always into like finding drama in everything. And she always judged my mom for everything. Like to the point where like my mom was in her 40s and 50s and she'd be telling us stories about how like your grandma used to like follow me down the street because people would tell her that I had a bunch of boyfriends and I was 12 years old. And my grandmother's response would be like, well, I don't know if it's true or not. And it's just like, she was a 12-year-old little girl. If you say that to her, you're almost, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy almost. Like you're giving her pretty much the mindset of like, well, if I'm going to get attacked for it, I might as well just do it type of idea. Now my mom didn't really do stuff like that, but like, at least as far as I know, but like, that's who she was. So my mom grew up in a really screwed up household. So my mom is very vindictive. My mom is she holds on to grudges. My mom is very judgmental. I've said it before on stream. Like she'll look like I'm a husky-ish dude. I've lost a lot of weight now, but like I'm a husky-ish dude. I'm not skinny. But I used to be very, very skinny. And I'll walk into a house that she's at and I haven't seen her for a few months. She's like, oh my God, you've gotten so fat. Look how fat you've gotten. Oh my God, your gut. And doesn't even say hi. That's the first thing she says to me. Right? So it's very hard living in a house like that. And then you have my dad, whose parents abandoned him as a kid. Like my dad was pretty much on his own from the age of 8. You know, he started smoking at like 11 years old and smoked heavily up until he had a stroke recently. My dad is a huge alcoholic, not to the point where he's like throwing up on himself or whatever, but he's one of those alcoholics that has to have alcohol in his system all day long, every day. Like he cannot go without alcohol. But we've never seen him, you know, on the floor stumbling drunk. We've never seen him throwing up on himself drunk. He's like the constant buzz type of drunk, but he's an alcoholic. But he had to raise himself. Right. So both my parents grew up in really crappy situations and then they both didn't know how to deal with it. So they're very dismissive of anything we feel because they're almost of the perspective of I went through worse and I dealt with it, so you should. But then it kind of put us in a place where like the issues that we did have, we never got addressed, which then just led to bigger problems down the line, which really sucked. You know what I mean? She's autistic and had a bad mom, so she doesn't open up. Yeah. And like, the funny thing is I've been in enough relationships that I learned not to open up to my partners. So I don't. And now I'm at a point where I don't know if I'll ever be able to do a relationship again because I don't know how to open up to a partner. Because I've been proven time and again that it's not safe to do so. That if I do, it's going to be thrown in my face. And that if I do, I'm still the bad guy despite opening up to try to talk about it. And that sucks. And that's all I'm going to say right now because I'm starting to get emotional and I shouldn't. But yeah, that's kind of the boat I'm in. So I don't and I can't. And it really sucks. So I have a lot of stuff that I need to kind of figure out on my own. But yeah, I don't know if relationships are going to happen for me because I've learned time and again that that's not the case. Even after 8 years, 7 years, that if I open up, I'm still the bad guy and it's going to get thrown in my face. So kind of in that boat right now where I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I've learned my lesson big time. Okay, so we're going to be playing some Dead Space, as you can hear from the creepy music going on. Now that we've set the mood, now that we've really set the mood, we're gonna start with this. You're gonna have your first trauma. Nice, we win. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be scary. Because usually when you're dealing with trauma, the first thing you want to do is kind of run away from it. But stick to it, because accepting that it happened and starting to kind of allow yourself to feel those things in an environment like that, the therapist may not be right. I'm not saying that they are or aren't. I'm just saying if the therapist isn't right, don't judge the whole process based on that, because I've had some really bad therapists. I still have never found one that really clicked with me, and now I can't afford one, so I haven't looked. But allowing yourself to have those moments allows you to start to accept those moments and heal with them. So even though it's scary, go for it. Like, really go for it. It's going to help you. It's going to help you a lot. It really is. Well, I love you too, Spiritual Booty. I love you too. I've got problems. I've got things I need to work on. I've got issues that I struggle with that I know for sure. And I know there are things that I should be working on that I don't work on. 100%. I'm not saying that like I'm this like God-given perfect human. I've got a lot of things that I've got to unpack and deal with as well. Things that I know that are a problem and I still am not willing to do anything about. But there are definitely things that I have attempted that just blew up in my face. So it's now I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't even want to try it. I know I should, but I don't want to. So it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. So you're emotional for me. Don't worry, Weewood. Despite all of that being said, Mink2, I think. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Welcome to the Retro Squad. Welcome to the little family. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get like so dark in the conversation. I try to not do that often. So that being said, with everything that I said, even though things are hard and things kind of suck right now, I'm actually in like the best headspace that I've been in a very long time. As far as like I haven't, don't get me wrong, I haven't been in like a really dark place or anything. But like I'm in a spot right now where like I feel motivated. I feel hopeful for like my dreams and stuff. I feel excited about my dreams. I haven't felt that in a really long time. I'm looking forward to tomorrow type of thing. I'm proud of the way I look. I'm proud of the work that I'm doing. I'm proud of the stuff that I've achieved in my life. So I'm in a good place. I'm not in a bad place. Don't get me wrong. You know, I've got crappy things going on, but despite that, I'm still in a better place than I have been in a really long time. I'm actually appreciating a lot of the stuff in my life right now, which I wasn't doing. And I'm still, you know, I'm still a negative person. I'm still struggling with kind of getting out of that headspace. But yeah, don't worry about me too much. I have a lot of good things coming in the future, and I'm looking forward to a lot of things coming in the future. I'm starting the process for a lot of things in the future. So yeah, there's not too much to be worried about. I think things are coming down the pipelines that are going to be worth the ride. That's what I'll say. It's things that are coming are going to be worth the ride. So I'm looking forward to it. So even though there are things that I am still dealing with behind the scenes, I think there's a lot of things that are happening that I'm very excited to start. I think the biggest thing I'm excited for is to see where I can go now that I'll be able to put all my effort into everything. Because I was doing really well on YouTube when I first started streaming. And I genuinely don't know if that was because I was one of the early adopters to streaming on YouTube, or if it was because I was actually good at what I was doing, and life just got in the way. So I wasn't able to go take the next step. I'm hoping it was more me because it happened a second time on Twitch. And again, life got in the way, so I kind of stopped it. So I'm excited to see what'll happen once I can like fully devote my energy to this. Same with the acting. You know, once I'm no longer living in my parents' house. I'm obviously living on my own, but I'm saying, you know, when I did my acting, I was living under my parents' roof. And then once I moved out on my own, I was just trying to stay alive. So like, not stay alive, but like pay my bills and stuff, keep my head above water. And so I wasn't able to dedicate all of my energy to acting. So I'm curious to see what I'll be able to do once I'm able to actually like follow my passions 100%. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see that. Absolutely, Spiritual Woody. I'm okay for the most part. I think the only thing I ever really struggle with when it comes to like not having anybody to talk to is just complaining. But that doesn't help anybody, right? It doesn't help anybody in any way. And the problem is because I'm so bad at socializing that anytime I do reach out to people to complain, that's pretty much the only reason I reach out to people. And so like, because I'm so self-reliant, I guess would be the best way. Like I like to be in control of everything that I'm involved with. That's why like I don't have an artist doing any art for the channel. I do it all myself. I edit everything myself. That's why I don't have anybody working with me, because I like to be in control of it all. So anytime I reach out, it's to complain. And then I just come off as the guy that only complains. So I try just not to like reach out for anything anymore because I don't want to be that guy. Because I complain a lot to begin with, but then when I only reach out to complain, it just comes off like all I do is complain, and I don't want to be that guy. I love juicy rants. Oh man, yeah, but things are okay. Things are okay. All right, let's do this, I guess. I don't know how the volume is. Hopefully it's going to be okay. Oh, that is loud. Yeah, we win. It can be because we have a hard time reading people, it can be that much harder to really know if that's how we're being perceived or not. You know what I mean? Or like this is something that I didn't really put together until this whole ADHD, ADHD thing came together, was that okay, yeah, I saved right before this room. The save was literally the next step. Give me a second.
TUES and Valor, this is Kendra Daniels on the USG Ishimura. Do not open the escape pod. Repeat, do not open that escape pod. Do you read?
Oh, it's too late. It's too late.
We're too late. The Valor! It's heading right for you!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't even remember this part. Now that I kind of have been looking more into the whole ADHD thing, something that I didn't realize was, like, I had learned...
Something shook the whole crew down. What hit us? An asteroid?
Those things got onto the Valor, a rescue ship. They found your escape pod, and the one that you...
Oh, I've got no more health either.
Damn it!
The Valor's scrap. By the time another ship hears the SOS beacon, we'll all be dead.
No, that's what I was telling you. I found an executive shuttle on the crew deck, intact.
And the log says that shuttle's missing its singularity core.
Give me just a
It
second.
can't get us home.
Wait, maybe it can. If the Valor singularity core is okay, I could salvage it, install it on that shuttle. We're fucking out of here.
Where's the Valor now?
It's near comms.
Keep us stable. Isaac, I'll grab a suit and EVA onto the Valor. Meet me there. We'll find that core together. Let CEC clean up their own mess. I'm saving what I can.
Okay, so now that I've kind of learned more about the whole ADHD thing, man, oh, is that health? Is that health? One of the things that I was doing that I didn't realize I was doing was like I always thought that people kind of just lied all the time, and it really bothered me that people were liars. That was the way I looked at it. Now I understand it's more about like understanding the social mores and knowing what to say, and when you say something, it's not that you're lying, it's just like there's always an undercurrent meaning, and I just didn't understand that.
I'm on board. The Valor's trashed, but I can make it to the bridge.
Uh-oh.
The hell was that?
Zero gravity.
And so for me, it was like, I didn't understand that it was like, because there's a secondary meaning. For me, it was just they lie all the time. And I don't know why they're lying all the time. So I just kind of learned, one, to lie, and two, that I couldn't trust people when they said something, that I always had to kind of look for what they actually meant when they said something. So one of the things that I struggle with a lot is like when I talk to somebody, I'm constantly worried about what they're actually thinking as I'm saying what I'm saying. So like, you know, do they think that I'm lying? Do they think that I'm saying it because I'm trying to prove to them what I'm saying?
I need you to handle that nuke right away before something sets it off.
Handle 12 megatons. You know I'm not a nuclear engineer, right?
I don't need you to be. Just stabilize the warhead and eject it away from the Ishimura.
Christ damn it.
No one trained you to carve up monsters with a plasma cutter either. You haven't let us down yet.
That's not good. Can I like... So like I had to learn to like when somebody was telling the truth or not, and most of the time I just kind of went with that they're probably lying to me, or they're probably thinking the opposite of what they're saying. And so it's a habit I have to really work to get out of. But one of the things that I struggle with is like when I'm telling somebody something, and when I say, you know, like just a minute ago when I was saying, you know, I'm actually like in a really good headspace despite all the negative things I said, the inner voice is telling me they're still thinking you're trying to compensate. Like you're saying, no, I'm fine, even though inside you're dying. And it's like, no, I'm being legit. Like I'm fine. And so like I struggle with that. So when I open up to people, I'm always worried that they're going to think that I'm, you know, a lot of people, as I've learned, when they're going through like a breakup, when they're complaining about something, they always put themselves in the best light, and then they try to pretend like they're the only ones that are being right, and the other person is wrong in every single way. And so it's hard for me to kind of vent about that stuff because I'm always worried that people are thinking that what I'm saying is trying to put me in the best light. Sometimes I know that I've misunderstood the situation, so it's like, yeah, I'm putting myself in the best light, but not because I'm trying to like prove that I'm the good guy. It's more like I've misinterpreted what happened, and so the way I see it isn't how it happened because I didn't interpret it properly, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I think I'm coming across clearly. But there are other times where like I'm saying the things the way they happened, but then other people, as I have come to understand, they cannot be seen as bad, so they have to lie to kind of make themselves the good person. And then that frustrates me even more because sometimes I'm just saying what happened and then I'm being put out to be like this bad guy. And that's one of the things that I struggle with like TikTok. It's the big creator that I had a big falling out with. You know, he's a pretty serious content creator. Like he's very well respected in the realm of content creation. And when I addressed him about something, he came at me in a really aggressive response. And so instantly it bruised my ego. It also really bothered me because I didn't come at him in a rude way and he came at me in a rude way. And so when I responded, I was very upfront with like, dude, I was a really big fan of yours, but I've had to unfollow because of all this. And I wasn't saying that as here's a kick in the pants, or here I'm trying to show you that you don't mean anything. It was a legitimate thing that happened. I liked the guy. Then I saw him with his mask and filter off when it came to TikTok, because, you know, YouTube, you can really curate things to come off in the best light possible. On TikTok, it's one of the downfalls. You can just pull out a phone and just respond without actually thinking about it. And it was really easy to see how toxic this person was. And then they made it out to be like I was doing it just to get his attention, that I was trying to be like a kind of a contrarian. Like, you know, I was hating on him because he was famous, and then that would give me attention. And it was just like, no, dude, I don't care about your attention. And at this point I had like 80,000 followers and he had like 20. And I was like, dude, you've got like a quarter of the followers I've got. If I wanted attention, I wouldn't be coming after you. And I didn't mean that as like a flex of like, you know, oh, I've got more followers than you. It was, to me, it was a logical thought process. It was like, dude, if I want your attention, one, I wouldn't attack you. But two, if I wanted attention, I would be attacking a much bigger creator. I wouldn't be attacking a little creator in the numbers, right? Like me confronting you about something isn't actually helping me in any way. I'm confronting you about it because, dude, you're being toxic. And so, you know, he had to come out as the good guy. He ended up blocking me, but then he made a couple of follow-up videos talking about how like I was coming after him and you know, I was trying to throw it in his face that I was a fan, but clearly I wasn't because I was attacking him. It's like, dude, you're just like warping the whole story to make yourself the hero. Anyways, what I'm getting at is it taught me really quickly that people want to be the good guy no matter what. And so I have a hard time opening up to people because I'm always worried that they're going to think that I'm doing that. And sometimes, you know, that's what happens. But like I was saying, it's usually because I misinterpreted what was going on. It wasn't that I was actively doing like, no, I'm not going to tell them this part because they're going to think badly of me. It was, well, this is how it happened. You know, Kyle Driver, how you doing? I'm so toxic. I'm so toxic. I mean, I have toxic traits. I have toxic traits for sure. I enjoy calling out people sometimes a little bit more than I should. How are you, Kyle? How's it going? Congratulations on the partner thing, man. I'm so happy for you, dude. You've put in so much work. You've put in so much damn work. I'm so happy for you, man. So happy. I just tell you what I'm thinking. Start beef with me. You'll get famous. Dude, it's so cool. I'm always so happy when I see my friends take that step and do what they set out to do, like actually achieve what they set out to do, and not do it in a way that, like, how can I say it? Like that they just put in the work, and when it didn't work, they figured out why it didn't work and continued to put in the work instead of turning around and going like, man, it's because nobody supports me or because it's unfair. It's just like, okay, it didn't work the first time, guys, let's keep grinding. And then a few months later, you got it. Like, it's always so nice to see that. It's so cool. That's awesome, man. That's so good. But yeah, it's, you know, here's a good example of where I had told a friend and it was unintentionally me putting myself in a good light. Whoa, what the heck is that thing? You know, I had talked to a girl for a few days when I was like doing the online dating thing, and everything seemed fine. And then out of the blue, she just kind of ghosted me and stopped talking to me. And I felt really bad, and I was like, what a jerk. Like, why would you waste my time? And
units on their armor. When they were turned, those units merged right into their bodies. Changed them. They're fucking fast, Isaac. Stay sharp.
I will. And so, like, you know, in my mind, I was like, she wasted my time, and she said she really liked me, and then she just out of nowhere ghosted me and blah, blah, blah. Now I can look back at it and realize that I had totally misinterpreted the whole thing. Like, yeah, she liked me because it's not that she like liked me. It was that she thought I was fine and she wanted to get to know me. I also, because I don't understand human interactions very easily, I also am very much of the mindset, and this is something that I actively have to take this step, is when somebody texts me, if I see it, I want to answer immediately, no matter what I'm doing. I can be in the middle of work. I'll take off my gloves to answer immediately. I have to answer right away. I now have to take the step of like, okay, they texted me, put down the phone, wait for a while, and then answer back. Because in my mind, it's like when we're talking face to face. If you talk to me, I have to respond right away. I can't just like ignore you for a while until it's convenient and then answer you back. And so I kind of think of texting in the same way, but it's a twofold issue that happens when I do that. One, then you don't respond back in time. And so then I sit there going like, you just held the phone in your hand. Why didn't you answer? Oh God, they must be mad at me. And then I start like going down a spiral. So I have to like actively not answer. And second, especially in the dating realm, it comes off like desperate. Like I'm answering you right away. I'm desperate. At least that's what I've been led to believe. And so like I have to actively like pause when I respond to people. And so like now when I go back, it's clearly I misrepresented or misinterpreted the whole situation, because like she was interested in me, but like I was answering all the time and like right away immediately. And I was, you know, when she said she liked me, I took it as in like she liked me. And so clearly I was already moving ahead before she was ready to move ahead, but I had misunderstood what she said. So I thought that was kind of like the go ahead to like pursue it a little bit more. And so clearly I was the one that screwed it up. But at the time when I was telling people about it, I had misinterpreted it. So I was coming out like I was trying to make myself look good, but that wasn't the case. I'm clearly a bumbling idiot when it comes to women and dating and stuff. So that's where I struggle with like opening up to people, because I never know how they're going to interpret what I'm saying. And so I'd rather just not deal with it. Even after the stream, every stream after the stream, I look back at everything I said. I'm like, oh my God, I probably came off as a jerk when I said this, or I probably came off as arrogant when I said this. And it kind of sucks trying to figure out how people work. It kind of sucks. Oh man. Yeah. Cause I always like, I'm on my phone all the time, but it's more like I always have YouTube going. Right now I'm like on a big kick of watching American Dad for some reason. I'm like obsessed with it. And so like I have that going all the time. So when I get messaged, it pops up. So right away I just click it and respond. So I have to like actively not do that. Then I also have the issue that I forget to respond if I don't actively respond. Like there is somebody who used to come to the stream. I don't know if they still lurk every once in a while or not. But they used to come to the stream a lot. They were really active back then. And I guess they had sent me a message on Twitter. I want to say I saw it because I feel like I remember seeing it. But they sent me a message on Twitter asking me a question. And I'm pretty sure that what I tried to do was not respond right away and kind of give it a little bit cool down. And then I just never responded. And then I remembered.
Repeat, alien and extremely dangerous. All personnel to arms. Fire at will.
And then I just didn't know about it. And then I was going through my Twitter like 3 weeks ago, and then I saw it. The message is 2 years old now. They are now a Twitch partner. So like, I feel like a jerk that I didn't answer them, but now it's been so long that I feel like I'll come off as a jerk by answering now. Because now that they're a Twitch partner and we haven't really interacted, I almost feel like I'm worried. Well, I'm worried that it'll come off as like, oh, you're a Twitch partner now. I want to talk to you because I want something. Whereas like the reality of the situation is like, no, I actually didn't see the message until now, and now I feel like a jerk and I want to kind of apologize for it. Oh, there's another one, is there? Yeah, there is. Uh-oh. Whoa, you're still alive? I'm dead. Did that work? Did I get rid of them all? Are they done? Nope, he's still alive. I really need to put the mouse and keyboard on this thing. Using a controller really sucks for this. Whew. They're so creepy, they are. Whoops. Yeah, Merle. And I do the same thing. I'll forget. So I answer right away because I hate forgetting. You know, and like my brother's like real heavy ADHD, and he has the polar opposite problem of me. I answer right away. He'll answer when he feels like it, and he forgets sometimes. And I remember my biggest gripe when we were not growing up, but like when we were really young adults, when we first started like using cell phones on a regular basis, he would call me and I might miss the call because like I was in the bathroom or I was in the other room, and I'll run up and I'll go to answer it, and he hangs up right as I pick up the phone. Like it always happens with everybody, right? I'll immediately call him back, and then he won't respond. And then I'll text him, and he won't answer. And then like an hour later, he's like, oh yeah, I just wanted this, and this. I'm like, what did you do? Like, did you call me, hang up, and then run away from the phone and leave it in the room? Like, I called you back literally 10 seconds after you hung up. And so he has the polar opposite. Whereas like for me, it's like, no, I need to answer right away because I saw it. So I'm going to answer as soon as I saw it. But then, yeah, it comes off as like, one, having no life, and two, which I kind of don't have a life anyway. And two, especially in the dating world, it comes off as like being really desperate. And it's not a desperation thing. It's just like, I'm sitting on my phone. I saw your message, so I'll answer back. You know what I mean? Oh, man. You forgot about it twice already? You either respond right away or you need some time. Yeah. Yeah, it happens a lot at work, especially right now. I work by myself, completely alone, and he'll message me and I'll respond to him right away. And then he won't answer, and I'll respond and it'll be like a question that I'm asking. And then he won't answer for like an hour. And I'm just like, dude, you just messaged me and we're both literally working alone. Why didn't you answer me? The whole time. It's a really frustrating situation for me in my head that I stick myself in that kind of mentality. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know why they've given me all these like power battery things. I don't understand. Or maybe I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Last time it was a picture.
Hello? I must speak with you.
Who is this?
Dr. Terrence Kine, the Ishimura's chief science officer. I studied the marker for the church.
I'm done talking to unitologists.
But the planet
Just
won't rest until the marker is returned. You can't leave.
Watch me.
I love that. Yeah, like I said, I'm usually pretty good at answering back, but with my parents, I'm pretty bad with my parents. There's one, I'm actually in the active process of it right now. This second is what's happening right now. One of my patients died 2 years ago now. Almost 2 years. In May, it's going to be 2 years. And he got a sudden diagnosis of cancer. I was taking care of him. It was supposed to be long-term. Like, it was supposed to be something that he was... With the illness that he had, they had given him about 10 years to live. And by the time I met him, he had been dealing with it for a few years at this point. But it was kind of like most people with this diagnosis live for 10 years. It's not really a death sentence. It's just kind of what happens. And so it wasn't like I was taking care of him because he was palliative and going to die. It was just that he's going to have a shorter lifespan, but I'm there to help his life because his life is harder right now. And then out of the blue, he disappeared for about a month. He went to the hospital. He was choking and went to the hospital. Then he came back and everything was cool. And then all of a sudden he tells me that he went to the hospital because he was choking. And the reason he was choking is because he had a tumor in his lung that he didn't know about. Got diagnosed with cancer, was given a few weeks to live, died within a month. But I was his favorite worker. Like, he just would not allow anybody into his house. He only ever wanted visits from me. He was a bit of a jerk, but he really liked me. And so like I learned how he liked things done. And then eventually we just turned into really good friends. When I first met him, he was really hard to deal with, especially because we were of opposite perspectives when it came to pretty much politics, but we were of opposite perspectives of a lot of things. And so sometimes he'd be very, very overpowering in our conversations. So I very much learned to just kind of be like, yep, and just kind of ignore what he had to say, because he just didn't really have a mind to open his perspective to any other points of views. But anyways, I learned how he liked things. We became really good friends. And then when he was about to pass away, he was a couple of days away from passing away. At this point, I know it was a couple of days. At that time, we didn't know how long he had. We were alone. His wife went for a walk and we were alone, and he started crying. And then he asked me, this is going to make me sound like such a jerk, and I feel like such a jerk for it. He asked me to make sure I checked in on his wife. Every like month or so, just to see that she was okay, because he loved her to death. She was the sweetest woman. She was the polar opposite of him. She was much more like me. And she was the sweetest woman. He has now almost been dead for 2 years. I have yet to call her. And not because I don't want to, but because the only times I remember are right now when I'm live streaming, or at like 3 in the morning when I'm at work. The in-between, never remember. Never remember. The one time I did remember that I was going to call her, I froze because I didn't know what to say. I was like, what? Hey, how's life? What are you up to? Like, I don't know what to say. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, it's been almost 2 years. One, I don't know if she still lives there, because the rent was fairly expensive. She was retired. He was retired, but he had a really good pension because he worked for the government. So he had a really good pension. So they were living okay. But I know that once once he passed away, she would continue to receive his pension, but she wouldn't need the place that they were living in. And her mom was much older and needed care, and she had a whole house to herself. And so like I figure that she'd probably go and move with her mom. So now I'm like, I don't want to call because like, what if she doesn't live there anymore? And like now I feel like a jerk if she does pick up. What do I say? Why didn't I call for the last 2 years? Like, hi, I've got ADHD. I forgot to call. Like, I don't know what to say. So I'm like actively in that position of like, I don't know what to do. Cause like, I feel bad. I think about her almost every day. I think about John every day, but like, yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Let me take a look. Moa, let me take a look. So yeah, even though I do respond immediately, I'm also really bad at remembering to actually call people. I'm really bad at that. Let's see, Moa. Oh, that is really nice. That looks awesome. That's really cool. It fits you perfectly too. Awesome. Awesome cosplay. That's great. But yeah, so the dual personality thing, I'm telling you, I contradict myself in the way that I act. It's embarrassing and frustrating at times. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm gonna die. I've only got 7 of those. Oh god, this isn't good. Yeah, he was great. He was great. I was really sad when he passed away. I was really sad when he passed away. What the heck is that thing? Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Okay, I didn't listen to the caution. Contain all explosive materials. I probably shouldn't have blown something up in an explosive room. Yes. Yes, Moa, and it'll be perfect. That's actually really cool. That's really cool. I've always wanted to get into the whole cosplay thing. But I don't have the patience or the creativity for that. That's not the creativity I have. Okay, so I don't want to blow up their hands because they're gonna kill me, right? So I gotta like. That's how I have to do it, I think. Yeah, no, don't bother with the wig. I think your hair is nice enough. Your hair is really nice as it is. You don't need the wig. Okay, that works. That's okay though, because like there's a lot of pre-made costumes that people buy that don't fit well, and so they don't end up looking good because they fit frumpy and weird. Yours fits really well. It looks like it was made specifically for you. It's really well done. But yeah, one, I don't have the money to spend on pre-made ones, but two, I also just don't want to build one myself because like I bought a master sword. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what to do. I bought a master sword when I went to Fan Expo over the summer last year, and it's a I like it. I think it's a pretty nice master sword. It's a foam one, but it still cost me like $50. And then I bought like a proper, it's over there, a proper wooden Zelda themed shield. It's not like the the Hylian shield. It's just got like the Zelda crest on the front, and it's gold and gray, so it's not really one from a game. But I bought it because it was cheaper. The Hylian shield was something like $350. This one was only $100. But like to buy that to wear for a costume, I just couldn't justify it. And so like I know I'd have to build certain things. Or like the games that I like, there aren't really costumes for them. Like if I wanted to do like cosplay, I would probably want to do something from Resident Evil, or I'd want to do like a Dark Souls style character. And you're not really going to find decent costumes in those themes. So I would end up having to build my own. And I'm just not good to that.
This doesn't add up. If the Valor was just on patrol, why bring a nuke? And if they had a target,
Yeah,
who's
Mo.
out here except us?
Yeah, I know. I'm downloading a munitions report right now. I'll clear your route to the engine room. Grab that singularity core and let's get out of here.
But yeah, I do like the whole cosplay thing. I think it's really cool. There are some cosplayers out there that blow my mind how well they do. $88. Yeah. See, and I'm cheap. I'm cheap. I don't know if I'd be able to spend that kind of money for something. I think a big reason is because I, one, have never done it, and two, I don't really go to expos very much. Like I went to Fan Expo and I went to PAX. Outside of that, I haven't really done any kind of expos, and I don't really have friends, especially friends that like that kind of stuff. Oh my god. So like in my mind, I'm thinking of it like, why would I spend money? Oh god. On costumes for something that I would not really ever do. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm so dead. I don't have any slowdown stuff. Holy crap. Holy crap. Yeah, that's true, Moa. That's true. That's always a good way to think of it. But yeah, like I don't do any of that stuff, so like I would end up buying it and it just wouldn't get used. You know what I mean? Which would really suck. Because I don't do any expos or anything. So it's kind of like oh, it's way over there. I can't reach it. I've got my camera, this camera in particular, and it's got the ability to plug in a microphone, which is what I use when I make my videos. But one of the things that I liked is that it had the space at the top to actually put my microphone on it at all times, so I can use the microphone while I'm out and about. And then I've got the lens on the other camera, the one that I'm using for the second view, which is way wider. And the main reason I got it was, one, for chatting so I could see the whole room, but two, when I'm out and you know, doing stuff, I wanted to be able to hold the camera in my arms, with my arms, and still be able to see me okay without it being like zoomed right into my face. The whole idea of like when I go to expos and stuff, I'll have vlogs. I went to Fan Expo, but I was there with Nora and Alana, so there wasn't really time for content creation. It was more like trying to keep Nora entertained and stuff. And so like I bought it with those intentions. I've never used it for those things. So like I know at least this I can use at home, but like a costume I wouldn't ever use. You know what I mean? I wouldn't use it all. Oh man. Oh, that's too bad, Nikki. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not good. Hopefully you can figure it out. He's not into the franchise, he's just dressed up to match you. Hey, at least he's supportive about it. You know what I mean? I can imagine trying to date somebody in their like mid-30s, early 40s, and they'll be like, let's go to dinner at a fancy restaurant with fancy wines. And I'm gonna be like, let's go look at comic books at a big convention with a bunch of people dressed up as cartoon characters. I'm sure I'll get a lot of support then. I'm sure I'll get a ton of support for it. Oh god, this isn't good. Oh god. So friggin' stressful. At least I was able to get some health out of it. Oh, that was the work that I'm watching. Oh yeah, Nikki? How far is India from Germany? Okay, I'll take the health, but I would like some bullets, please. There's a lot less bullets in this game than the other ones. Not that it's a bad thing. I actually like the fact that it makes you have to strategize how you're gonna attack. I found that the other one you could just kind of shoot forever and it was no big deal. But this one, you gotta be so careful with how you spend your bullets. I've never been to an actual Comic-Con. I have a few not friends. I have a few people that I've done shows with. Who are very into Comic-Con and stuff. One of them, she does the cosplay thing. She actually had her own little Twitch channel that she streamed on for a little bit, then she stopped. But she used to do a lot of cosplay. I don't know if she still does. But she used to do it. But I was talking about this a few weeks ago. Preston concurred that most of the theater people that we know, they're not really into video games. If they are, it's very minimal. The amount that they're actually involved in the video game world, I don't mean minimal as in like they're not true gamers. But they're not true gamers. They're the ones that like they might have the most recent Call of Duty, but they only play it for, you know, a couple of hours a month maybe. Or they'll like play like an NFL game or a FIFA game or something. But they don't really know what's going on in the gaming realm. They don't really know what games are out or what controversies are out or whatever. So I don't really have any friends that are involved in any kind of like nerddom outside of theater stuff. And so like I like
range online. Caution. Live fire exercise.
So I don't mind am I gonna get something for this? I don't have bullets to spend on you guys. So I don't really have friends that I can like goof around with when it comes to nerdy stuff. And I like theater, but I don't want to spend all my time at theater. Oops. I knew it. Oh, I'm out of bullets on this one. Oh, God. Okay, whew. There's got to be another one. I can hear noises. I knew it. Dudes, I'm out of bullets. Stop attacking me. Oh, I'm almost dead. Oh, I have no more health. This isn't good. Sorry, I'm really distracted right now. Where are you? There you are. Whew. That was not good.
Arrow. Shooting range out of service. Please contact maintenance.
Oh, but at least we got this. Well, I got some bullets at least, so. Oh, I so regret that decision. I've got almost no health now. What time is it? Oh, I gotta leave in 10 minutes. Thank God. I thought I was gonna be late. 7 or 8 hours to fly there? Okay. Oh, okay, Nikki. Yeah, that's pretty frustrating. For sure. What the hell? Whoa! Oh, whoa, that's messed up. Oh, that's messed up. Oh, this is bad. Is it hard to get a visa to go there, Nikki? I've never looked into going to India, so I don't know how hard it is to get a visa. Go, go, go before I blow up. I didn't have... I messed up. I messed up. This is hard. This game's getting really hard now. I'm not finding it as scary as the first one, though. I thought the first one was really scary. I don't find this one as scary. I don't know why. Okay. Oh, yes, it helped. Oh my god, yes, it helped. Oh my god. Woo. I'm dying. I'm gonna die. Oh god. The panic is real right now. The panic is real. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm on fire. I'm dead. Whoever that was. I don't even know who that was. We win. Thank you, we win. Oh, that was good. That was good. That actually made me panic like big time. That made me really panic. That was good. Thank you, we win. For those who are watching and don't know, especially like on TikTok and stuff, that was a jump scare. That's what I mean by jump scares are on in my little description.
Isaac, you hearing this? It's Chen. Hello,
That was good.
alive?
Chen's dead. You know that.
I know my own fucking corporal. Chen, come in.
I didn't know you could speak Punjabi. That's awesome. Yes, we win. That definitely brought up the fear factor for sure. Oh, I really wasn't expecting it that time. Sometimes you can kind of like prepare yourself that it's about to happen, but I was not, like, it wasn't even on my mind at that point. Ooh. Okay, I should stop. I gotta go pick up Nora in like 5 minutes, and I gotta be responsible. And I'm usually late. I'm gonna not be late today because I don't like sitting around the corner. Okay, I gotta get out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow around the same time if you are interested. We're gonna continue with some more Elden Ring. I'm getting the feeling that Dead Space is kind of the issue when it comes to the numbers. They're still definitely better than they have been on the nighttime streams that I was doing. Because when I was doing Dead Space on Thursdays at nighttime, it was like nobody watching. So definitely Dead Space has a bit of a hand in people not being so interested in watching. So I don't know what I'll do. I might switch it. I might not. I don't know. I'm enjoying the game and I want to keep playing it. So I might stick with it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I'm definitely preferring this afternoon stream versus the nighttime stream. The nighttime stream is nice because, you know, it's nighttime. I've kind of had the whole day to do stuff. I also can like have a beer when I'm doing it and kind of, you know, loosen up a bit. Can't do that so much in the afternoon. But with the afternoon streams, it gives everybody else a chance to kind of hang out. It also allows me to have the rest of my day to kind of do whatever I need to do instead of kind of spending my day with like the idea of I'm going to start streaming in the evening, so I don't want to do too much throughout the day so I'm not tired for the stream. Now it's like, no, the stream's over. I can kind of tire myself out all I want and it's okay. So we'll see. But yes, I'm going to get out of here. I will be back tomorrow around the same time. We'll continue with some Elden Ring and hopefully that will continue to move forward because we were lost for a really long time, but I think we've finally found a direction to go. Is that what I think we were finally finding somewhere to go? I think that's what was happening. I can't remember. But thank you so much, Weewin and Nikki and Merle and Moa and everybody else who's been hanging out. I really appreciate you all here coming to lurk and just watch me blather on. But yeah, like I said, tomorrow, some Elden Ring and keep an eye out. I should have my Resident Evil video out in the near future. I don't know if it'll be ready for today. I doubt it'll be ready for today. But hopefully I'll have it out by tomorrow or... Yeah, I think I want to have it up by tomorrow. If I do it over the weekend, usually people are really busy on the weekend and the numbers tend to not be so good on the weekend. Whenever I post a video, it tends to really not do well over the weekend. So maybe it's because so many other people are posting on the weekend. I'm going to try to get it out for tomorrow. If I can't, it'll wait till Monday. But I'm going to record a few videos. I'll have a video out hopefully tonight. I'm going to edit one of my short videos and then try to record a few more. And that'll be that. Yeah, we win. Yeah, because I would really appreciate the help because I have no idea what I'm doing. As always. That's me with Elden Ring. Okay, everybody, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out.